talk today about how to protect that dollar of yours. It can be a nightmare trying to sell a house that's not exactly in good shape. But our next guest says on the flip side, they can buy that same house and help someone else achieve the American dream. You've seen the signs all over town. How many of you have seen them that said, "We buy ugly houses"? Yeah. How many of you have ugly houses? No. Okay. Please welcome Ricky Williams and Eddie Gant from Homevestors to explain how that all works. Okay, great catchphrase, "We buy ugly houses," because people feel like if they have anything wrong with their house, it makes it tougher for them to actually sell it. But that's what you're looking for. It's an investment property for you that can turn into an American dream for somebody else. Tell us how this kind of program works.
Go ahead, Ed.
Well, we do a lot of advertising, obviously, and what that does is generate a lot of calls from people that have a house that they don't want.
Right.
These houses come in multiple categories. Mainly, it's a category meaning it has a lot of deferred maintenance, bad roof, looks bad, smells worse, we like to say in our industry, and they just can't sell it the normal way.
Yeah.
Other avenues or other types are inherited, where the kids inherit the house. They really don't want to fool with it. Mom and dad didn't really take care of it the last 10, 15 years, so it also has a lot of updates needed. Or, you know...
Which, by the way, let me just say, we're looking at some pictures here of some of the updates that you make, and that's kind of the thing that's attractive to a lot of people is that, you know, if they're selling to an individual, the individual says, "I want to knock money off because I need to redo this, redo this." That type of stuff, you give them a price, and you'll do all that stuff.
Well, that's correct, and we use a lot of really reputable contractors to get it back in really tip-top shape. New roof, new central, new paint, new carpet, the works.
Yeah.
As you can see from the pictures, they're incredible.
Because you will buy a house as is.
Absolutely. A lot of our customers are, do not want to go out and hire the right contractor or the not right contractor.
Right.
They don't know what really needs to be done or not, and we will buy the home as is in its present condition.
And then if you're selling the house, closing can be quicker than a normal situation as well.
Well, that's right. We typically close as soon as the title company's ready, and that's one key thing I want to point out is we meet a lot of people that are very skeptical. Who is this guy walking into my living room? And we always use title companies. That's their protection. That guarantees them they're going to get their money. Their existing mortgage is going to get paid off. It's not a flim-flam. It's a reputable company, member of the Better Business Bureau, there to buy your house, make you an offer. If we make an offer and you don't accept, that's okay.
Yeah.
We just shake your hand and thank you for the opportunity, and there's no hidden fees or costs or anything there.
Yeah, and then of course, as I said, on the flip side, what happens then after you get that house is you go in, you make it right, you make it attractive, and there are a lot of advantages to that for not only an individual, but for a whole neighborhood, if you will.
Oh yeah, we'll go into a neighborhood that a lot of times we buy the ugliest house in the neighborhood, and when we walk away from that, the house is completely updated, and in a lot of cases it's the nicest in the neighborhood. And we help tax values, and a lot of people, when they go and they see a house that hadn't been updated in years, and we go in and completely update it, I mean, that really helps the community.
Yeah, it does. And it actually invigorates a community where houses were falling down, and now we see it building back up. And then you give people that opportunity, which I think is even more important today than ever because it's a little bit harder for some folks to obtain, and that is to own a piece of that American dream.
Right.
And so the kinds of people who can buy these houses and get help buying these houses are who? What kind of help are we talking about?
The typical profile is a first-time home buyer. We work with some very reputable local mortgage bankers. Primarily, it's an FHA loan. An FHA loan means a couple of things. It's going to be a fixed rate mortgage, none of this crazy stuff you've read about in the newspapers where they vary and adjust at the end of the year.
Right.
They're 30-year fixed, typically in the neighborhood of 5 to 6% interest rates, getting in for 3 to 3.5% down payment typically. It's a good quality product, it really is.
Yeah, and so if people are interested in buying one of these homes that you all have redone, how do they find out what home is one from Homevestors?
Well, they can, two ways. A lot of times their real estate agent contacts us, or you can contact 1-800-44-BUYER and tell them that you're interested in buying a home in the Houston metropolitan area.
Yeah, there are a lot of shows out there right now that kind of talk to this type of thing of like flip this house and the whole bit. And the good things about those shows is that they tell you that this isn't for everybody. So for people thinking, oh, well, I can just go ahead and do that myself, what do you want to tell them?
Well, we'd certainly tell them that you've got to have experience. I mean, to go into a house and to know what to do and what not to do, understanding the marketplace and understanding the needs of our customers. And we've got, tremendous experience. I mean, just the Houston market alone, We buy in excess of 250, 300 houses a year.
Wow.
And so we have that experience, and we've learned by our mistakes as well.
Yeah, yeah. And they're not just all ugly houses. That was like a catchphrase.
They're not, but most of them do have some type of what I like to call deferred maintenance that really needs work.
Right.
We do buy pretty houses also, but the vast majority are houses that really need a lot of work.
Is there a house you've ever said no to?
Oh, yes.
Because of that? Oh, yes. What was the story on that one?
It's just, it really needs to be torn down.
Yeah. So
You know,
you're
it's
starting
not,
all over.
we don't buy anything that's not structurally sound. I mean, certainly we can go in there and put new roofs on and new tile flooring, granite countertops, new ACs, but when it's structurally not sound, we do not buy it.
All right. And then I just want to close with, you know, there are a lot of people out there who are under the misconception that you cannot buy a house right now. The market is, that's not the case. You just
totally
have to
false.
qualify the way that you used to have to qualify.
Well, the national media has done a great job of painting the doom and gloom. In Texas and Houston, it's really solid. It really is. If you have a job and you have some aspect of credit, there's a really good chance you can get qualified for one of these FHA loans.
Yeah.
And don't forget about the tax credit.
Yeah,
The tax
absolutely.
credit is $8,000 tax credit. That is, not only is it a tax credit, but it's a check that comes for the first-time home buyer. And that opportunity is just tremendous.
And a lot of people don't realize you can actually amend your 2008 tax returns and get that $8,000 in a very short period of time.
All right. Yeah, they're all like, well, now. Well, gentlemen, thank you very, very much for helping people to achieve that American dream.